Since Carlos Alcaraz is going to turn 20 years old on the 5th of May this year, I saw this as the perfect occasion to do a full comparison between Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz at 19 years old and as teenagers. But before we start the video, I wanted to thank all of you for the incredible support that I'm receiving in the last month, especially. In the last month, the channel gained a lot of subscribers, approximately 20 subscribers, which is a lot. It's more than 1 subscriber every 2 days. The views that the channel is receiving, the support is really incredible, and I'm feeling it a lot. So I wanted to thank all of you before we start with the video. You're encouraging me to do better, and I want to do better. I want the videos to be as good as possible. These videos are different one. I think that I never did a video like this one, especially having the face cam like this, and it's the first time since a lot that I do a video in this way, as I've said earlier, and it's going to be interesting because this video I spent at least, I think, 3-4 hours to do this video, and this is the 7th or 8th time that I'm recording this video. Hopefully it's going to be the best outcome possible for this video. I hope so, because I spent a lot of time doing this video, not recording it. Also recording it is going to be not an easy task, but especially researching the stats, especially Rafa's stats, counting the win, the losses. It wasn't easy at all. I'm sorry, guys. And then I also invite you to subscribe to the channel, as I've said before. We are at 185 subscribers, which is a lot, but the goal is to reach 200 subscribers before Roland Garros. Roland Garros starts on the 28th of May, so there is still plenty of time. There is still the possibility to reach this milestone, and I would be really happy if we do so. Then I also invite you to activate the notification bell, because, as you know, my videos don't have a specific timeline. Sometimes the videos, you see the videos at 6 p.m. Like today, I think. Sometimes you see the videos at 4 a.m. like Senior Alcaraz one, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening, sometimes in the night. So everything can happen at and you could have a video that I do, of course, in every minute, because you don't know when it's going to exit. I don't know what is going to happen. So activated notification bell, it's really important and really useful for you in order to not miss any of my videos. Then also I would like to start a conversation with you, if you also would like it, in the comment section. So please leave a comment in the comment section, talking about what I'm going to talk about on this video. Talk about what you think about this comparison, this type of players, because today I'm going to compare Nadal and Alcaraz at 19 years old and as teenagers also. So it's not going to be easy. It wasn't an easy task to do this video, to prepare this video, but I'm happy that I did it. But now there is the final part, which is to record it, and I hope that I'm going to do it in the best possible way. As I've said, I hope that this video is going to have the best possible outcome. It's the most time that I've ever spent doing a video, 3-4 hours, I don't remember specifically right now, and I hope that the support is going to be huge. But I know that it's going to be. I'm sure about that. I'm pretty sure about that, because I know that you are great fans. Now let's start with the actual video. So you can see on the screen stats and Nadal and Alcaraz. You can't see them, but you can see their surnames. The first stat that I'm going to talk about is the titles won at 19 years old. Rafa Nadal won 10 titles at 19 years old, which is a lot. He won 1 Grand Slam, 4 Masters 1000, 3 ATP 500, 2 ATP 250s, which is an incredible amount of titles. To win 10 titles at 19 years old, that's huge. That's huge. Most of the players don't even win 10 titles in their careers, and Rafa won 10 titles at 19 years old. That's a huge number, something that is really extraordinary, and it says a lot about, it speaks volumes about his level. I mean, Nadal as a teenager was possibly the best of all time, and at the end of the video is going to be the full comparison between Nadal and Alcaraz on the physical side, technical side, and mental side. That's going to be huge, I think. Alcaraz on the other side, he won a lot. He still won a lot. He won 5 titles, including 1 Grand Slam, 2 Masters 1000, 1 ATP 500, and 1 ATP 250. Nadal reached the world number 2 as his highest ranking at 19 years old, and Alcaraz was even able to reach the world number 1, which is an incredible feat, especially at 19 years old. Those are impressive numbers, impressive records by them, without any shadow of doubts. Both of them reached and entered the top 10 for the first time before being 19, so that's really, really, really incredible, and it's something that possibly we're not going to witness again. Then, talking about titles as teenagers in general, Nadal won 16 titles as a teenager. He won 1 Grand Slam, he won 6 Masters 1000, he won 5 ATP 500, and he won 4 ATP 250. And on the other side, of course, Carlos Alcaraz won 1 Grand Slam, 3 Masters 1000, 3 ATP 500, and 2 ATP 250, which is a lot also. I mean, 9 titles. Think about players that have 9 titles right now. I can think about, of course, Djokovic, Nadal, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Rublev, but there are a few players that have 9 titles, and those guys, especially Nadal that won 16 titles as a teenager, that's really, really, that's something that is unthinkable, honestly, and it's really tough to reach and to beat that record. I don't see anyone beating this record in the next 20 years. Maybe in the next 40 or 50 years someone can come closer and beat this record, but it's going to be really tough. But now let's analyze the surfaces that were the surfaces of these titles. So Nadal won 6 clay titles. Of course, I'm talking about only at 19 years old. So from the 3rd of June of June of 2005 until the 2nd of June in 2006. This is the time frame that I'm talking about, the timeline that I'm talking about. Nadal won 6 titles on clay, 3 on hardcourts, and 1 on indoor hardcourt. His one and only indoor hardcourt title came when he was 19. It's strange to think that he didn't win any titles outside of that on indoor hardcourt. Then Carlos Alcaraz at 19 years old won 3 titles on clay and 2 titles on hardcourt, which is a lot also. A really, really huge number. Then, talking about titles won per surface, talking about only when they were, sorry, my mistake. Talking about when they were teenagers in general. Nadal won 6 titles, as I've said before. He won 12 titles on clay. That is a lot, really. 3 titles on hardcourts, and 1 title on indoor hardcourt. So on all the 3 different surfaces, Nadal won at least 1 title at 19 years old. Only carpet is missing. I don't know if Nadal played any matches on carpet, maybe 1 or 2, but carpet is a surface that stopped to being used in 20-25 years ago. I don't remember when specifically. Alcaraz on the other side won 6 titles on clay and 3 titles on hardcourts. Those titles, apart from 250s and 500, there also were Masters 1000, as we've said before, and Grand Slams. Rafa won 1 Roland Garros, being aged 19 or less, and Carlos Alcaraz won 1 US Open. So both of them were and are, if we talk about Alcaraz, winning titles, big titles, such as Masters 1000 and Grand Slams at a so young age. Then, if we talk about win-loss records, by those players. Nadal at 19 years old, that was really tough, and maybe there are some errors, maybe, and I will apologize for that, because I will be honest with you, I didn't find any statistics about their win-loss record at 19 years old, so I had to count them for myself. So maybe I did some errors, and I apologize for that if there were some errors. Nadal won 59 matches and lost only 7 at 19 years old, which is a huge winning percentage. As you can see on the screen, 89.39%. That's a lot, and it's impressive. 89.39% is a huge percentage, and it's something that it's almost impossible to think and to do, especially. Then we have Carlos Alcaraz, who still is 19 years old, and he still has 2 matches to play at max and 1 match to play at least before turning 20. So Alcaraz could have a 59-13 record, a 60-13 record, or a 61-12 record. Probably it's going to be 61-12, and if it's going to be 61-12, it's going to be 83.56% of win percentage, which is a lot. If it's going to be 59-13, it's also going to be a huge win percentage, 81.94%, and if it's going to be 60-13, it's going to be 82.19%. So huge and big and incredible percentage of win. That's really a lot, and as I said before, it's really difficult to think about a player that could possibly come close to this or even achieve those numbers at such a young age. I think this is a really incredible feat that those players will be proud of in a lot of years. And Rafa's very proud of them because he's 37, 36, he's turning 37 in a few weeks' time, so in 1 month and a half, no, 1 month. Yes, it is like this. Then, talking about win and loss records at 19 years old or younger, or aged 19 years old or younger, Nadal has 155-43 record, which is 78.28% of win percentage, which is a lot. Carlos Alcaraz, there is an asterisk because I don't know if we can count next gen ATP finals as professional tournaments. In my opinion, they aren't, but maybe they are. So if we count next gen ATP finals, it's 115-34 as win-loss record and 77.18% of win percentage. If we don't count them, it's 110-34, 76.38% win percentage, which still is a lot. And I don't think that I counted potentially the 2 wins that is going to obtain, that could obtain against Zverev in the quarterfinals of Madrid before turning 20, so that could be also 116-35, 117-34, 115-35, 110-35, 111-35, 112-34. It could be all of them, honestly. I don't know. Sorry, it's not that I don't know, I didn't count them, but I think also like this is okay. It already speaks volumes about their level at such a young age, as I've said before, and as I'm going to say for the next years to come, because it's going to be something that I don't think is going to be seen a lot of times in tennis history. Even if in the 80s people were saying, yeah, Borg's Roland Garros record is impossible to beat, and then Rafa won 14. So maybe, who knows what can happen in the future, but those stats I think that are simply incredible, as I've said before. Grand Slam results. So these are all of Nadal and Alcaraz Grand Slam results. Nadal played in the Australian Open twice, of course being 19 years old or younger, and he played in the Australian Open twice in 2005, where he reached the 4th round, and in 2004, where he reached the 3rd round. So those were his results at the Australian Open. Then Carlos Alcaraz on his side won won the US Open, but talking about the Australian Open, he reached the third round in 2022, and I didn't write that in 2021 reached the second round, but I've said that vocally. Then in Roland Garros, Nadal played only once before being 20 years old, being aged 19 or less, and he won. His only time where he played in this time frame. He won in 2005 by defeating Gaston Gaudio or Puerta. I don't remember specifically. I think it was Puerta in the final, and the biggest win was against Federer in the semifinals, I believe. Then Carlos Alcaraz at Roland Garros reached the quarterfinals in 2022 and the third round in 2021. At Wimbledon, Nadal played his first ever Grand Slam in 2003, where he lost in the first round, and in 2005 he lost in the second round. Alcaraz played on his side. Alcaraz played at Wimbledon in 2022, where he reached the fourth round, and in 2021 he reached the second round. It was his first ever Grand Slam. It was his first ever Grand Slam on grass. His first appearance at Wimbledon. His first ever Grand Slam was at the 2021 Australian Open, and Rafa's first ever Grand Slam was at Wimbledon in 2003. Then at the US Open, Nadal reached the third round in 2005, the second round in 2004, and the second round in 2003. Carlos Alcaraz on his side reached the quarterfinals in 2021 and won the US Open in 2022. Those are impressive Grand Slam results at 19 years old, at such a young age. Now there's going to be the comparison between the technical, physical, and mental comparison between Nadal and Alcaraz. I want you to drop a comment, and in that comment that you're going to write below, leave your comparison on the technical, physical, mental side. I've compared these two players before recording these videos, and this was the outcome, and you're going to see it right now. So Rafa Nadal forehand. Talking about the forehand, I think that Nadal's forehand is possibly the best ever, or the best I've ever seen. I prefer Nadal's forehand to even Federer's one. And I will also explain why. Because Rafa has a lethal forehand. Attack on the attack. His forehand can be incredibly offensive and incredibly effective on the offense. But I think that the most incredible thing about Nadal's forehand is that he can hit a winner from everywhere. And also Federer can do that, but I think that Nadal can do it better. And I prefer, even if also Alcaraz has an incredible forehand, Nadal's forehand to Alcaraz for this reason. Because from the most improbable sides of the court, he can still hit a winner. Also Alcaraz can do this, but I prefer Nadal's forehand. I'm a huge fan of it. And sometimes I try to replicate it when I play tennis. I'm not as good as Rafa, but it is what it is. You have to be proud of what you do. Backhand, I prefer Carlos Alcaraz backhand because I think it's better. On the earlier years of Nadal's career, he used to play mostly his forehand, and he was running a lot to hit his forehand, playing 70% of the times at least his forehand, or even more. And that's the reason why I prefer Carlos Alcaraz backhand, because he has a really, really good backhand, and I believe that his backhand is better than Nadal's. That are the reasons why. It is flatter, it is more effective, he can hit winners also with it. Also Nadal could hit winners with it, but Alcaraz can hit winners more frequently. Then, talking about the serve, it shows Carlitos Alcaraz's serve. Nadal never had the serve as his biggest weapon, and on his earliest years, I think that it wasn't an incredible serve. It wasn't a very good serve. It was a good serve, of course. To play at that level, you have to have a good serve, but I prefer Carlos Alcaraz one. Volleys, Nadal never or hardly ever was coming to the net. when he was younger, when he was a teenager. I saw Nadal only a few times per match coming to the net. If players hit a drop shot, and Nadal had to stay on the net, at the net. But if not, rarely I saw Nadal playing at the net on purpose. Alcaraz also prefers to play from the baseline, but I think he's really good also at the net, so he has better volleys than Nadal, in my opinion. Then talking about the touch includes drop shots, etc. Yeah, Carlos Alcaraz has the edge. I think that Alcaraz has the best drop shots I've ever seen, possibly after Federer, or maybe at Federer's level even. And then he hides the drop shots really well. So I think that on this side, Alcaraz has the edge, and I don't even have a lot of doubts. I will be honest. Passing shot, I will go with Nadal. I'll go with Nadal because he was hitting some passing shots that were out of this world. Running a lot, especially running banana forehands, those were incredible. And this point goes to Nadal for the same reason as the forehand, because in my opinion, Nadal can hit winners from everywhere, in every way. Something that Alcaraz can do also, but less frequently. That's the reason why I prefer Rafa's passing shots, because he hits the passing shots even from the toughest and from the most improbable positions. Then lob, I would say a pretty tight one. But I prefer Alcaraz lob for the same reason of his touch. I mean, sometimes he plays some lobs that are out of this world. That's the reason why I prefer his lobs, because he combines his drop shots with his lobs sometimes, and they are really great and effective. I prefer his speed. It's a tight one, but I'll go with Nadal. I mean, have you seen some sprints by Rafa when he was younger? Have you seen those ones? He was running at an incredible speed. I'm honest, I think that Nadal is one of the fastest players ever. Young Nadal is battles for the spot of the fastest player of all time, in my opinion, or at least of the fastest player of the last years, because his speed was something mind-blowing. I honestly believe that his speed was something out of this world, something that possibly we're not going to see anytime soon. And yes, I prefer his speed to anyone else. If you talk about his earlier days. Then footwork, I go with Nadal, because how he was positioning himself in order to hit some forehands even on the backhand side, that's the reason why I prefer Nadal's footwork to Alcaraz's one, even if also Alcaraz has an incredible footwork. But Nadal has even a better one, in my opinion, or at least talking about when both of them were teenagers. Right now, probably Alcaraz has a better footwork because he's 17 years younger. Then slice, Alcaraz, I think he has the best slice because he plays it and he places it so well. So I believe that his slice is the best between those two. Then ranking, I go with Alcaraz, even if Nadal had more points, but Alcaraz closed the year as world number one at 19 years old, and has been and was and is going to be in a few weeks' time world number one. So Alcaraz, in terms of ranking, wins as the edge. Then the following stats are those. Let's talk about surfaces. Clay. On clay, I think that Nadal has the edge. On clay, Nadal has the edge because he's the best clay court player of all time. And even from such a young age, he won a lot of titles on clay. So Nadal on clay was and is the best between those two. His level on clay, 12 titles won on clay, Roland Garros won on clay, dominating Monte Carlo. He won Monte Carlo for 8 consecutive years. That's something that I've possibly never seen. This is the longest winning streak in a tournament, in a big tournament ever, and possibly and probably, most probably, is the biggest win title streak in any ATP tournament ever. So that speaks for himself. I can't say that Alcaraz is a better clay court player than Nadal at 19, because Nadal is simply the goat on clay, no doubts about it. Then hardcourt, on hardcourt I chose Alcaraz because he won a grand slam on hardcourt, and Nadal won the same titles or even more, but Alcaraz won the most important one, the Grand Slam on hardcourt, and that's the reason why I chose him. I chose him over Nadal on hardcourt. Then grass, I chose Alcaraz because he played 2 times in Wimbledon. Nadal played 2 times in Wimbledon. Once he lost in the first round, and the other time he lost in the second round. Alcaraz lost in the fourth round once and reached the second round once. So in terms of wins, Alcaraz is better than Nadal on grass. That's the reason why I picked him. Then indoor hardcourt, it may sound strange. You will say Alcaraz plays better and has better characteristics on indoor hardcourt. Indoor hardcourt is more suitable for his game than for Nadal's game, but I prefer Nadal for the simple fact that he won an indoor hardcourt title, and it was a Masters 1000. That's the reason why I prefer him. This is the only reason, honestly, and probably Alcaraz plays even better, but he didn't demonstrate it, so it goes to Nadal. Then Grand Slam. You may ask why you picked Alcaraz and you didn't give a tie here. You didn't because Alcaraz reached 2 quarterfinals outside of his Grand Slam win, and Nadal didn't reach any. And Alcaraz played even more Grand Slams, I think, so that's the reason why I picked him. But it could be also a draw, honestly, because both of them won one Grand Slam, but Alcaraz reached 2 quarterfinals and Nadal didn't reach any outside of his Roland Garros win, of course. Then Masters 1000, I picked Rafa because he won more Masters 1000. He won on 2 different surfaces. Also, Alcaraz won on 2 different surfaces, 3 different surfaces actually, because he won on indoor hardcourt and clay and hardcourt. So those are the reasons why I think that Nadal was better than Dean in Masters 1000 because he won more. It's statistics talk for it. ATP 500 the same reason, ATP 250 the same reason, and I don't have to talk about them because I've explained the reason why I think Nadal is better at these criteria. Then win percentage, it goes to Nadal because he had a higher win percentage than Alcaraz at 19 and as a teenager. So it goes to Nadal in my opinion, and it's statistical. It's not my opinion, it's factual, it's objective. Then head-to-head against top players, Nadal has a more favorable head-to-head against top players than Alcaraz. So yes, that's also another objective and statistical one. Resistance, endurance, how we can call it physical endurance. I chose Nadal because he played against Korea in Rome in 2005, 5-hour match. Then he played against Federer in Rome in 2006, another 5-hour match. Then he played also some other huge matches that were incredibly long, and it seemed to be running everywhere, regardless his tiredness or his physical condition. So I think he had the best endurance among the two. Then, talking about power, I think that Alcaraz is more powerful on his shots, but Nadal has more strength. He has, yes, I believe this. Alcaraz has more power because his shots are more powerful, but Nadal has more strength and add more strength. Mental strength, I picked Rafa over Carlitos because I think he had tougher rivals, especially considering that his toughest rival was Federer in his prime, when he was dominating everywhere, apart from clay, when a little Spaniard came called Rafael Nadal and stole him, if we can say, stole the show from Roger. And also Alcaraz had Nadal and Djokovic, of course, that still were at incredible level, but at Djokovic and Nadal at 35, 36, 34, 35 and 36 are worse than Djokovic, than Federer, and Federer at 25, 26 years old when Nadal was 24, 23 years old, when Nadal was a teenager. So the final winner, Nadal here has the edge on this comparison, 14-11 comparison. The final winner, in my opinion, is, you are going to see it in a few seconds time, is Rafael Nadal. I think that he is the final winner with full credit because he starts and he was the better player. Technically, he's more complete Alcaraz, but titles, fighting spirit, that is something that I didn't put there, that I should have put there. Both of them have incredible fighting spirit, incredible attitude, but I believe that Nadal is simply the best teenager that tennis has ever seen. So this is my result, this is my opinion. I hope that you liked the video. I know it's a long one, I know it doesn't have the best quality possible, but hopefully it was a good one. We'll see you in the next videos. Today there is going to be the recap of the Mutua Madrid Open Day 6. Now I'm going to exercise and do other things. And as always, thank you very much for the support. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, leave a like and drop a comment in the comment section with your full comparison. Even if you want to compare only 4 or 5 things of those two players, it would be very, very appreciated. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video. Ciao!